Hey everyone, welcome. Episode 6 of Barium, coming to you live, pre-recorded for those of you who are listening to it later in the pod, with Fully, Eric Fulton, Bubba Rude, and me, Dale the Impaler. We're going to talk another week of hockey, and then we're going to talk a little bit more hockey, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about some mystery meat, and that's what we're going to do. So we'll dig in right now. Been a week of hockey. Going to go over to you, Bubba. What's going on with the Oilers?
Well, they're up 2-1 over San Jose right now at the moment in the third period. They've been playing pretty well this week. Draisaitl's back, got his 50th and 51st the other night, which is pretty freaking wicked, because that makes him hit the fourth time he's hit 50 goals and 50 assists, and there's only 10 players that have ever done it even one time. That's cool. Beat the Golden Knights the other night in that game when he did that.
Yeah. Does that make him better than McDavid overall, do you think? Like, is he more of an important part of that team, or is it the combo obviously is important, but, you know, as a player to player, is he the weightier bit of gold there?
Well, he's a totally different type of player, so trying to compare
I know.
really is hard, right? I mean,
yeah,
McDavid does so much and opens up so much ice for him.
Okay, so it's the combo. He wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't.
On his own though, like McDavid's not playing right now, and he's still Draisaitl. Yeah. I mean, it's difficult when you've got a big body like he's got, and you skate well, and you just got that man muscle that you can just outmaneuver everybody. You know, he just tosses guys off and just casually throws big defenders off them, and crazy.
Let's get to the heart of it. You've got $14 million left on the salary cap, and both of them need to be signed. Who do you sign, Bubba?
Yeah, who do you sign?
Oh, it's tough. I don't know which one I would, honestly.
Well, you got to pick one.
I mean, I'm probably still going to go with McDavid, but the margin is so slim that you couldn't go wrong either way.
Probably take Draisaitl. I don't know. I think, you know, McDavid is who he is. He's easily the most dynamic player in the league, him and McKinnon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Guy like Draisaitl, playoff performer, usually really good at both ends of the ice, good on the draws, makes other people around him better. As you can see, the 50 and 50, he's not only putting pucks in the net, he's distributing it properly and plays a harder, heavier game than McDavid. But, you know, it's one of those things. Do you like the steak, or do you like the sizzle? I like the steak. Rather, you need the steak first, then you can have the sizzle later.
Yeah. Like I said, they make each other better. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, that's key. They make each other better. So Oilers, they're in the game right now. They had a big game against the Knights, which they won.
Yeah.
I caught the end of that.
And
that was a good game, actually.
Nice job of beating the Flames on Saturday. So even if it did have to go to overtime, it was still a great game.
It wasn't bad.
Well, what else? I mean, obviously they made the playoffs at this point, so kudos to them.
It's not a guarantee, of course, but it's a likelihood at this point.
High likelihood. Yeah, I think we're pretty close to having it locked up in the West.
In where we're at, I think both sides were getting pretty close to not having a lot of other options. You know,
I'd bet the pink slip on my Toyota that they make it. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not likely that they're not going to make it at this point, but...
No, there'd have to be like an earthquake, and...
I mean, this has got the same number of points, but, you know, the Oilers have got 3 games in hand on them. You know, Calgary's, you know, 9 points behind them, so... And, you know, the Oilers are up at a 2-1 lead at the moment for the Sharks, which...
Snipping at their heels.
Knock on wood, it should be a win.
Yeah.
No, they're in last.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make it. I think it's going to be okay.
They're going to make it.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the West is pretty set at this point, unless Minnesota continues to fall off the cliff. And
they have to really fall hard.
Play. You know, well, Calgary still got 2 games in hand on them too, and there's 7 points to make up. So I mean, it's not that one's not quite so written in stone, but it's certainly penciled in fairly heavily.
Well, go ahead, Polly.
I said Calgary did have their own destiny. 3 weeks ago, they had the destiny in their own hands until St. Louis did what they did. Was it 12 in a row? Which is,
Tonight was 12 in a row, yeah.
Yeah, they went crazy.
Well, they just about give that game up tonight because they've been up, what was it, 4-1 or 4-2 on Pittsburgh, and then it went to overtime.
Yeah, we watched the end of that there. Pittsburgh put on a good little rally at the end, but those things are going to happen. You play 12 games, and you're going to get a couple that you might deserve to win, you might not, but it's those teams that get those wins still. That separates playoff teams, separates first round winners, separates Stanley Cup winners. So
yeah, and those two young guys for Pittsburgh were playing so well tonight too. It was really nice to see that McGroarty and I forget the other guy's name fully.
Yeah, the guy, he turned 21 yesterday or something, or today.
Yeah, McGroarty's first NHL game, and there he is in the last 30 seconds of the game on the ice and scores.
Nice.
Pretty okay way to start your first NHL game with an NHL goal late in the period.
It's a young man's league.
Yep.
More than it ever Blues have, for sure. Blues have won 10 in a row, according to the stats I'm looking at here. That's pretty good.
Tonight's game, it's 11 in a row.
And then tonight's game. Oh, they won tonight, so it's 11 in a row. Okay. The Flames and the Canucks are only 1 point apart. But
yeah,
I think that
apart.
That 1 point's a pretty big point right now.
It's a pretty big point, and the Canucks are up a game, and the Flames are down a game. So
yeah,
that doesn't bode well. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Vancouver losing tonight pretty much shot them in the foot.
The last night, yeah.
Or last night, yeah. Sorry.
That was I'll talk about that when I do my roundup. Okay, over to you, Eric Fulton.
Well, it's hockey. It's a good time of year to watch it. Just watching the Flames, they're 6-2-1 in the last 9. Couple bad breaks, some TV calls or whatever the league gets involved in, right or wrong. Only bad.
Yeah, that's such a weird thing to do. Hey, like I don't. Is that new? It's not new, I know, but I guess maybe I'm watching more, but it seems to have happened a lot in the last 10 games across the league.
It's happened since they brought the review in. It's been, one of those things you go offside, you play for 4 minutes in the other team's zone or 3 minutes, and they call the game back, and then you got to put the time back. Like we've got teleportation or we got time travel in NHL. It's the dumbest rule ever. If the other team gets possession or touches it, regardless, it was offside by a millimeter. I think the reviews you want to see are when did it cross the line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those.
Well, yeah.
It's a goal, but those ticky-tacky little shithead things like that.
Well, yeah,
I don't like them.
I don't think the spirit of the rule was ever or the spirit and the intent of that were ever to make these extremely precise offside calls.
Yeah, right.
Realistically, I don't what it was supposed to be for was the egregious offsides that got missed. Well,
yeah, or the goal that was like really, if it is in and out so fast nobody noticed or something like that, right? Like,
absolutely.
That makes sense.
I got no problem with the goal reviews one way or the other. Like,
but you know what's coming next? It's always been this way in hockey. If you're a stride off the red line, you dump it in. It very rarely gets called icing, right?
Yeah,
because they're close, like really close, like nothing agreed. And that's gonna be the next one. They'll be like, "Oh no, he was a millimeter behind the red line," and it should have been an icing. But it is what it is. Calgary, played well enough, except for one game. I think, they probably got a couple results there that they didn't deserve in that little stretch with their goaltending again, just being stellar. No Connor Zary again. He's out week to week again with his knee, but that Prospasol up was Nazem Kadri there. I haven't been yelling at my TV about Kadri for the last 3 or 4 games, which has been nice. I've been yelling at Rasmus Anderson as always, and Eric Gonovich. Like, that guy is an absolute waste of a red.
Oh,
2 feet in a heartbeat.
Don't forget, there was Huberto tonight, too.
Huberto, I was talking to you early, Bubs. It's about every third game you see Huberto start doing his little fancy passes into the middle of the no looks and between the legs. And that's after he usually plays 2 good games where he gets that confidence back and then thinks, oh, maybe I am this player now. But no, you're not.
Well,
you're
the only goal they give up tonight was purely based on the fact that he gave that damn puck away.
Well, I'm talking to you before about like Calgary, for 45 minutes, they seem to stick to the system. They seem to stay disciplined right side of the puck.
Mm-hmm.
Good things like that. Move it into high percentage areas on the ice that you can have a chance at a 50-50 battle or even a 40-60 battle, but you're not putting yourself in a position where you're getting given odd man rushes. And even tonight, you watched, probably 2 or 3 times Calgary trying to jam the puck in the offensive end to the front of the net, the high slot, and every team just collapses now there. So it's got to go low to high. Everybody talks about that, but it's the way it's got to go. You need to get those F3, F4, the high forwards. You got to get them out to give that center of the ice. If you're always constantly, like Flames have been doing, trying to jam it into the middle of the ice, it's easy. 5 guys just collapse, flip out of the zone, and there you go. But Saren Gonovich, like I don't know how he's still in the lineup. He's played a little bit better, but I think it's because he's got Prospos on the line doing all the heavy lifting. That kid just goes in, bangs.
He made that great chip on that first play to get it out of the zone so that Kadri could go in and score. So, I mean,
he's an NHLer. He should make those plays, right? And if that's
a good play, but it wasn't. It was a play 80% of the league should have been able to do.
Oh, easily. And that's the thing right now. If we're talking about a supposed 30-goal scorer and we're getting hot and heavy because he made a good out on the zone. Like we were watching it. I liked the play. It was a good play.
Yeah.
But, that's what we're, talking about the last 3 games is he chipped the puck out nice on the wall. It's great.
Woo!
No, I don't disagree with you. I just was pointing out that,
yeah,
it's not, he's not giving the puck away and making really bad plays that cost them goals. Thank goodness. But he's not doing a lot positive either.
Nah, he's just ineffective. He's a very ineffective hockey player. If he gets to use his sweeping wrist / snapshot, and he hasn't been using that much this year either. Just not putting himself, moving his legs, or being gritty enough to, make bounce off a defender and give yourself some open ice. Whatever the case may be, it's just mostly just even if he's getting his goals, they sit him out one game, comes back and scores. Well, that should be his modus operandi. Sit one game, come back, fire it up, a little bit of a pulse, try to prove yourself. But then, I think he's one of those players, if he's comfortable, he's bad. So what do you do? And even Uyghur, telling you, Bubs, it looks like he's got a thumb injury.
I agree with you completely. He
hasn't been able to handle the puck. He's been flopping it all over. His passes have been weird. His shot has been.
You can tell that he's clearly trying to not handle the puck if he can at all. It's just ugly otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying, never heard nothing about an injury or nothing like that, but I'm just watching and there's something going on there where, it's not normal for him. He's a choppy guy to begin with his stick handling and with his passes. Everything's done hard. There's no finesse in it. It's every move's like, very deliberate, but it looks like right now he just doesn't have a handle.
Yeah.
It's not like played, pretty solid all year. But no, they're beating the Ducks tonight, which they should do. Ducks look young and very undisciplined, but lots of potential, as most people would like to believe. But I don't think they're that close to anything either, with the amount of giveaways and compete level and lack of physicality. But who knows? That's about it for the Flames. How about your awesome Vancouver Canucks there?
Yeah, well, they're giving us a mixed bag, I guess. Lost it. I thought the Blue Jacket Canucks game was pretty good. They lost, but it was a good game. The Jets game was disappointing.
The best team in the league for the most.
They are the best team in the league, but they put out some effort anyway. But I don't know. I guess they just left it all at the Jets because, man, the Kraken game was pretty terrible. Though, like you look at who was out on the ice.
Kraken bent him over and fucking went in.
Oh, and they went in the Kraken. But they were playing weird players too. Like I mean, I don't know how many times I heard Linus Carlson is the center. I mean, who the fuck was? I mean, I know he's on the team, but he hasn't been playing that much, and all of a sudden he's like all you're hearing. But okay, the Carlson over to Carlson. I'm like, what the hell's happening out there? They were playing their third line more than anything else. It didn't look like Hughes showed up at all. I have to give a shout out to Elias Pettersson, the defenseman. He's been doing pretty good the last few games, and he's definitely, he's gotten a little bit of a brouhaha, got penalties. I don't know. I thought he was a bit of an effort out there. DeBrusque early, and it was almost like he was playing for the other team there. He's like, oh, you know what? We're playing the Kraken. I'll just give them an easy pass to the front of the net so that they can get on the board first. Just to give the Kraken like a jump start. That's all you could think of that I was thinking when he threw that puck around like that. And then he spent the rest of the game desperately trying to get a goal, which didn't work at all.
Well, what about that pass from DeBrusque into, that sent them on the breakaway there? That was probably one of the worst plays I've seen all year.
Yeah, it was terrible. He played like shit. And then Connor Garland, who I like, and I know that Foley hates, but and look, I mean, you gotta love the little guy. He's only 5'10", 165 pounds. Come on, give the guy a break. Anyway, and most of that's in hair. He played like shit. Like, I don't even know why he was out there. He looked like a gopher. Yeah, I was super sad, especially when I know that they got to win absolutely every single game to even have a chance. I don't think they have a chance, so they just gave up. And I feel like this was the game where they gave up. I could see this team just losing most of their games to win it if it's super easy and somebody gives it to them. But I didn't see any heart at all. It's gone. It was like that Jets game was it. And then who knows? That's enough. We're not going to make it. Golfing's coming up. The weather's changing in Vancouver. The cherry blossoms are out. Everything's beautiful. Why the hell do I need to go into this ice rink and play hockey? That's how I felt about it.
Bunch of great rallies downtown. Lots of.
Yeah, I know, right? The girls are going to be on the beach with bikinis quick here, so you got to get ready.
That's a sad thing. It's just a waste of Vancouver because there's not many men there to take advantage of that.
Fair enough.
I got a question for you, Dale. Where does that put Vancouver next year? Are they in a rebuild? They don't have a ton of draft choices.
They got two guys coming up on the draft. There's I can't remember their names now. I was listening to a podcast about it yesterday. There's two guys. One's on. He's on a bit of a heater. He's on a team that's doing real well, and he scored a whole bunch of goals. Can't remember Salvarini or something Arini is his last name. Anyway, he's doing pretty good supposedly. So he's a draft pick. That'll maybe come up.
Some guy. His name's Kakaramus.
Kakaramus. Yeah.
He's really good. I don't know where he plays or how many goals he got, but I know.
I just listened to. They were talking about him briefly. I was like, okay, great. But overall, they still are pretty young generally. But I don't know what they're going to do next year. Look at their whole front end. Like, who do they have? There's just a whole bunch of not a lot. They don't have a. Pius Suter has actually been pretty good. Maybe he'll be better next year. But still, nobody's putting a ton of goals out. Elias Pettersson is always a hope. Let's hope for it. Holglander and Besser, they're journeymen anyway. But I don't know.
Signed for next year, is he?
I don't. Yeah, that's up in the air. I hope. I guess they will. Who knows?
Well, he might. At the moment, he's not signed. I don't believe.
Yeah, there was a bunch of controversy about whether they were going to sign him or not before the break there. It didn't happen, but maybe over the summer they'll figure it out. They spent all that money on that Cheadle guy that lasted like freaking 3 games and gone.
Yeah, he's a UFA this year or after this year.
Yeah. So
Besser's buddy gets traded to
Miller. Yeah.
So how much do you think he wants to stick around in a locker room that held the controversy all year and the team can't seem to get their shit together, and your leaders, 10-ply guys, soft as baby shit. That's your guy that you're behind is Elias Pettersson. It's like getting behind Sarah Golden in Calgary. No thanks.
I mean, well, the team, the captain's the defenseman, but you're right. They don't got anybody up front to lead them. When your defenseman's your biggest scorer, that's pretty. I mean, it's great, but it's also not great.
Well, like I said, how do you let that kid rot there too? Like Quinn.
Yeah,
Hughes is, he's a generational. I think he's a general. I put him right beside McCarr, 1A, 1B. And, that kid's going to rot. He's going to rot there for the next 3 or 4 years unless they figure something out or, restructure that team, retool.
They got to retool. They got to retool the front end. They don't really have a hell of a lot to work with.
So that's your answer. They need to retool for next year.
I think so. I bet they gave away all their first round draft, not all of them, but I think they don't have anything really early in the draft, so they're just gonna have to hope for something, I guess. Maybe they'll do some picking up of people. They'll get rid of some people. I mean, if not that anyone's gonna let me be the coach, but I mean, I'd keep Besser, I'd keep Hoglander, I'd keep Joshua. I'd keep Connor. I keep Connor Garland because I like him. The Brusque is a hard worker, but god damn it, last game was so bad he almost deserves to be cut forever. And then I keep Pia Suter, and then everybody else is like, you could trade him and figure out something else. Maybe Ratu, I don't know. But he had a couple of moments there. But on the defense, pretty good defense. Not great, the greatest in the world, but you got Quinn, you got Elias Patterson's doing good, Marcus Patterson's doing pretty good. They've got a handy D there. But yeah, they don't have a lot up front. And then between the pipes, they got Demko if he's healthy, and Lincoln's not bad. He's not a bad guy. And then you got Fancy Seeloff, who I also like just because he was magical for a couple of minutes, and that was cool. But not a full-time NHL goalie yet.
It sounds like you're building your team on fairy dust and unicorn farts to me.
Hey, you know what? That is what I have done every year for 51 years. So just step away.
I'm not
the kid that drew dragons with the big eyes and the rainbows. That was this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't do that. When I had Lucky Charms in the morning, it was nothing but the 4-leaf clovers. I picked all the other stuff out. Yeah.
Watch him overpay for John Tavares at 34 years old.
Yeah. Could see it.
Sidney Crosby's probably aging out. We could take him for a year or two.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly where Sidney wants to go. Sidney's still going to be a point-a-game guy next year.
I know.
Watching Pittsburgh and watching those two kids, probably, Oh
yeah, he's reinvigorated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just a half chubber there, just 4 Smarties high. I got something here to deal with.
We'd take that kid from North Van. His name's eluding me. Bedard. Why not? Bring him to Vancouver.
They don't have the
he's not that
to trade for him.
No, but why? I don't know. Fully, we talked about this before, but I've watched a couple of Blackhawk games. Just watch him, and he is not that effectual. He's got some fancy stuff when he gets the puck and he's all alone, but nobody leaves him alone, and he really doesn't know how to back check.
No,
he's in a horrible situation.
He's in a shitty situation too. He really doesn't
for sure he is.
That can go out and drive that line for him and make space for him and give him any kind of opportunities.
No, it sucks because I think he's
any further up the toilet right now than he is.
But the way that they're always losing, but it's got to suck too because in a lot of ways he's probably not going to be the kind of player that he maybe could have been. Because he's just not learning,
He's got
learning the game, obviously. Yeah, I guess so.
It's too early to write the kid off yet.
I know.
He's got too much given talent to not learn how to play the game.
But are they good? Is Chicago going to actually make the effort?
Well, they will. But you got to understand
what understand. Nobody wants to go to Chicago. I mean,
yeah, of course.
But you got to understand too. What are the expectations of the kid? You're thinking, you're crazy if you think he's going to be a McDavid. You're crazy if you think he's going to be a Crosby. He's not a generational kid. I don't think
he's an elite talent.
I think he's going to be in that Pasternak, that level of superstar, right?
Yeah.
He's going to get crust 100 points.
The tier 2 guys.
Yeah, which anybody who says, "Hey, do you want to be like Pasternak in this league?" I think every guy other than Crosby, McKinnon, and McDavid,
and Draisaitl,
yeah,
they're like, I'd like to be like that.
Yeah, no, so
Yeah.
Every guy that plays for Vancouver right now, with the exception of Quinn Hughes, would be like, yep.
Yeah.
But it's good though. Like I said, Calgary needs to almost run the table like Vancouver, and Minnesota needs to have an epic meltdown.
Yeah.
They're already melting down, but
Yeah.
it'll just be a meltdown if they still make the playoffs in a wild card. It's just a meltdown at the end of the year. An epic meltdown is if Calgary or Vancouver sneaks in there and Minnesota out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
But
Calgary's got 8 games to make up 7 points. So,
Yeah.
it's pretty tough.
That's pretty tough. They got to lose a lot, and Calgary's got to win a lot.
so I mean,
Well, Vancouver's got 6 games, right? Because it's one ahead
yeah.
of, they got 6 games. Yeah.
Sorry, Vancouver's got 7 to go yet.
Do they? No, but their one game, games played is one
They've
behind,
played
one ahead.
They've played
one more
more
than
game than Calgary has. Calgary's got 8 games to do it. Vancouver's
They got one.
7
Yeah, they
games to do it.
got 7. Yeah, and they're playing the Wild, so they could get, if they beat them solidly, they get 2 whole points.
Oh,
But they're playing the Golden Knights twice, and that's tough.
And they're not a team that's probably
the
going
Wild.
to beat them both games.
No.
just
The last game of the year is it's against the. I might go and watch a game. Maybe I might go over, watch a hockey game over in Vancouver.
A lot easier
Get a
to do it
nosebleeder.
there than it is for us to come down and watch.
Yes, it is. It's not that hard. My mom got in a car accident yesterday
Oh no!
and was in the hospital for the day, which was not great. So I'll see how she's doing. I might go over to see her.
Was it like in town or a highway?
No, I was in town, so that was good. Yeah, she. I don't know if she's allowed to drive anymore. Maybe we should all have an intervention on that, because it sounded like this is her second car accident now in the last 8 months, and the first one, Trish was there with her, and it sounded like it wasn't Mom's fault, but maybe it was in hindsight, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she basically, I think she thought she was pressing the brake, and she pressed the accelerator and just railed into somebody from behind. And then the airbag, I don't know if the airbag went off, but the seatbelt crushes you, and then off to the hospital.
Right? When you're that age, dry farts can get you.
Yeah, right. It's not like she's an MMA fighter at 78 years old.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
My grandma had the same thing happen to her when she was 81, and she ended up breaking a hip. And,
Oh God! Did she live? That's off from the death.
She
good.
Yeah, she made another 4 years.
Oh, that's really good.
I followed my grandpa Hugo on my dad's side in Olds, Alberta. World War II vet, very proud man, prominent man in the community. Owned a real estate company there and shit like that. And I remember following him to their house, and he's driving in the middle of the road, doesn't even signal to make his turn to his side street, and then he just goes way wide, brings it back over to the other side, doesn't signal to go to the right hand turn, and then just peels into his big driveway. It's like, no, I think Hugo might not need to have a license anymore. I think they tried, but he's a very proud man, and I don't blame him. You're gonna have to pry, you have to pry the license and keys out.
You're gonna have to use one of them bureaucrats to get my license.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
So
yeah.
So I got a story to tell anyway.
Oh, let's hear it.
Talking about bad grandma drivers. The other, like my dad's mom, never got a license until she was 40. So I mean, let's just start with that fact. And she was never much of a driver in the first place. My grandpa did most of the driving, but she did go in, and she drove in every day from La Glace into Grand Prairie to work at Zellers when Zellers was still around.
In Vancouver? In Dawson?
From La Glace into Grand Prairie.
Oh, from La Glace into Grand Prairie. Okay.
So it's a.
So that's 50 kilometers.
It's
round trip. More than that.
Round trip it is, yeah. Because it's 18 miles each way, I think. So
yeah.
So you're pretty close anyway. So when I first got together with my ex-wife before I married her, we're getting ready to go down I'm taking her to Christmas for the first time with them. And we're going down to Beaver Lodge because that's where everybody was meeting. And I'm like, we're getting ready at the house. And then we were meeting my parents and my brother. And then we were heading down. So I'm telling her, like, doesn't matter what goes on, no matter what happens, if you guys have got to go in a vehicle somewhere and you're going somewhere with Granny, don't let her be the one that drives. She's a really shitty driver. Stop signs are a suggestion and signal lights are an optional item in her car. So that's me. We get to my house. First thing my brother does is take her aside and tell her the exact same thing. Before anybody notices, my dad's got her aside too, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? He's telling her the same thing. And we're riding down, and Becky's like, is it really that bad? I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's just that bad. Don't ride with her anywhere. She really probably needs to get rid of her license. And they were trying to get rid of it for her at the time, my dad and his sisters. So, anyway, we get down there. I'm introducing her to my cousins and stuff. And my cousin Dallas is right around my brother's age. And of course, first thing he does is take her aside quick too. You know what he tells her? Whatever you do, don't drive with Granny. She's awful. So
it was
she got it.
Family set.
Everybody in the family knew it, and everybody else was like, yeah, just make sure this is your warning. Don't drive with Granny.
Y'all should all have t-shirts made up for the reunion.
Yeah,
your wife was well prepared to stay wide of Granny. Well warned. Do not, under any circumstances.
So, and around that time, my grandpa was looking to get himself an extended cab pickup. He never had one in his life. So Dad finds him one, and they're talking about it together, and there was some money left over from a company Dad and him had together. And Dad said, we can make this deal. No problem. We got money for it. But I mean, he's at that age where when it's time, it's time. And like Dad said, no problems. We can do this, but I want the truck when you're done with it or when you're not able to drive anymore. And Grandpa understood and agreed. And, he was always really far more level-headed than my granny. He was a good driver, a professional driver, and had driven, gravel trucks and you name it, log trucks and the whole works. So anyway, Dad goes, the only thing that I'm worried about, Grandpa, is if, Granny's going to get her nose out of joint, that she should have a new vehicle too. And Grandpa looks at my dad and he goes, yeah, I'll deal with that, because if Granny had a new car, she'd drive more. And she should drive less.
She's just like a shark. At some point, she's going to eat someone.
And thankfully, she never did. She never had any bad accidents or nothing. But she,
so she showed all you had.
She had a guardian angel riding with her every time she was driving. I can tell you that much.
There had to be some freaking super snotty days driving from that part of out to Grand Prairie and back out there again. Like no drifts and just like whiteouts. And I in my mind, Bubba, she's got like a freaking Buick Skylark or something. Like 2-wheel drive, 7,000 pounds. No.
She had originally the first one I remember, she had a Chevette.
A Chevette?
A Chevy Chevette, yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah. And then
that's what I learned to drive on. That's sweet.
and then the next one was maybe a Corsica.
Oh wow, you're just deep cuts of crappy GMC cars.
All GM products.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then after that she had a 4-door Sunfire.
A 4-door Sunfire.
Yeah,
the car every girl in Alberta and
that is the car you get when you turn 16 and your dad has more than $3 in his pocket. Yeah. Wow.
Exactly.
It's holy funny, the Chevette and Corsica. So when I went to university,
a freaking Corsica
in Minnesota, my roommate had a Chevette. We called it the Vet, T22s, and every time we'd park in the student parking lot, he'd purposely park it so close to other people's vehicles so that the doors would get banged. And the odd time he'd even play a little bumper tag up there. Tutus was a beauty. But then the Corsica, we had a buddy that was playing the junior varsity team, Tony Trimborn. He had the Corsica. And he drove that. He thought he was the rat's ass and that he was just a wannabe gangster. He was a beauty.
Do you remember that the Corsica? I don't know what year it was, but the Corsica came out for 3 years with built-in seatbelts. It was like this innovation because people didn't wear seatbelts. Remember that? So you'd leave your seatbelt actually in the car, and the seatbelt was in the door. And then if you opened the door, the seatbelt was there, and then you just stepped in, and you didn't have to clip it in. I remember. So I had when I was in college, I had a job at a car dealership. So this would have been like 92, 91. Holy. Anyway, so I got to drive all the new cars, and the Corsica was my service car. So I'd go pick up customers or something to bring them back to their vehicles that were getting service. That was one of the things I did. And so it was a Corsica, but it was a brand new one with these fancy seat belts. And I did not know how to use it. And so I opened the door, and this seatbelt thing is there, and I'm looking at it, trying to figure it out, and I'm closing the door and opening the door, and it's there. It's like right there. It's like really weird, right? And I'm like, what's happening? And I got in the car, and anyway, I was trying to figure it out. And while I was doing that, the owner of the place, or like one of the general managers, I guess, or something. Anyway, one of the bigwigs, so I didn't know who he was, comes over, and he goes, "Are you some kind of retard?" And I'm like, no, I've never seen anything like this before. Anyway, it was one of those moments, you feel really small and stupid. It's like,
yeah.
Because you can imagine I was getting all super into like this, what a magical thing. Like you open the door and the seatbelt comes out. Anyway, that's my Corsica memory.
Yeah. I think she had a Cavalier in there too for a short period.
Oh my God, a Cavalier.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just running the gamut of 18.
There were.
Oh, exactly.
I have to say, like, as I'm working at a car dealership, like I did, I got to see all the new GM products. It was Dicker and Chevrolet, and in North Vancouver, their products at that time in the 90s were fucking garbage. Like, yeah, there were more than a few men that were in like mechanics or service guys or even salesmen, if they didn't have a car given to them, that did not own any of the GM products, even though they would get massive staff discounts because they were terrible. Do you remember the Firefly?
Oh my God! So one of my buddies had the Firefly, except he had the turbo
3 cylinders of power. Oh, a turbo! Oh God! So it was always in the shop.
We called his the Horsefly. That fucking thing was the biggest pile of crap you ever saw.
Oh my God! The turbos were really bad, and then also there was the convertible Fireflies. They weren't very common. I think I only saw 1 or 2, but
they look like a lima.
Like a what?
The Fireflies look like a lima bean.
Yeah, they did look like a lima bean.
And then the Fiero came out too. The
Fiero.
Oh, that was a scary car.
It was the worst car in the world. Was a rotary engine? Is that the big thing that was in it? And it was in the back.
The engine was rear engine. That was the big thing about it.
That was and the transmission in the middle. Yeah.
The 2M4s weren't awful. That was the 4-cylinder. But the 2M6s, and it's not that they had huge power, but for as little and as light as they were, they had too much power for that little car. Well,
they were a fucking go-kart.
Oh,
they were almost impossible to work on. There would so mechanics. I don't know how they work now, but at that time, the way it's worked for services, mechanics got paid by whatever the book value hour time was for a job. So if you did a brake job and it was booked for a half an hour, but you did it in 15 minutes, well, then you just made an extra 15 minutes, right? So anyway, but if a Fiero came in, it was almost like they were going to give flowers to the service manager to not get the Fiero. I mean, the lady had all the power. It's like, I've got a Fiero, who would like it? And everybody's like, not me!
Not me!
I'm out of here. But wasn't it a car, though, that was good for kit cars, right? People kind of realized that you could take the body off, and then you could put on, like, whatever kind of, you could make yourself a Lamborghini or whatever you wanted, because the body was a unibody.
Lamborghinis and Ferraris, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another one, too. There was another body. I think there was not one that looked like another car, just the one that looked like a little race car version instead. But yeah, they were rebodied lots.
I can imagine that must just be the only good thing about them. But you know what's great is when I see a Fiero, I'm like, oh my God, that guy's still driving a Fiero. I mean, you have to be committed. The fact that you're still driving a car that's that old at this point, I mean, they're a little bit, they kind of look sporty, whatever. I mean, you've got to put some money in. Like, that's not a free ride. You've decided to dedicate yourself to oil changes and, wrenching on that car in some way.
And you got to remember, you're buying an American vehicle in the past, or in the section of American vehicles where they're a pile of shit. Like,
oh yeah,
it doesn't matter who makes it; it's junk.
Yeah,
it's just in that vintage. Whereas at least, a Toyota in that vintage, or some of the other ones, some of the Japanese and stuff, were at least good quality vehicle. But
oh yeah,
good Lord, not the Fiero.
I don't know how we got off Fieros. This is fantastic. If you'd said to me, "Hey, you're going to talk about Fieros today," I'd be like, "No, I don't think so." But
I'm enthralled.
It's just the way it goes, right?
It is. I will say, okay? Now that we're on cars, because everybody's had them, what's the worst car you've ever had? We'll start with you, Eric. What's the worst car?
I never owned cars. Wherever I played hockey, it just gave me a vehicle.
Oh yeah.
The worst car I probably drove was probably my mom's Ford Tempo. That thing was a
Ford Tempo. Oh, that's such a bad car. Oh my God.
Those are right up there with the Chevette and the.
Oh, they so are. And the Cavalier and the Sunfire.
But it was a 4-door. It looked like a fucking. That really looked like a lima bean too.
Oh yeah.
I think the designers of that age or that period are just. Everybody hated lima beans. When you're a kid, and they always ended up at the side of your plate, and all these car designers are just remember those fucking lima beans. Let's make cars that look like that. Like that'd be cool.
I think
it was the lima bean generation.
I think there was there was some cars out of Europe in the late 80s that sort of had that shape to them. I want to say Audis and maybe like some Italian thing. Anyway, there was a couple of like concept cars or something, and it was like everyone just bought into it. Like, yeah, we're gonna make cars that look just like this. How awesome! Organic. It was terrible, very bad. But the Tempo. A buddy of mine had a Tempo. We used to call it we called it the Temple. And I don't know why he had it. It was a terrible, terrible car. All right, Bubba, what was your worst car?
The worst one I owned a 6-liter Ford.
Straight six though?
No, an F350 6-liter Ford diesel. I bought it knowing that the engine was questionable. Or I shouldn't say questionable, high maintenance. And I bought it knowing I was going to use it for 2 years, and that's all I needed it for, and then I was going to buy something else. Well, it cost me every cent I expected it to, and then a little bit. So, but the truck itself wasn't that bad, but I mean, Ford's got wiring issues. They all do, or all the Fords do, and things like.
And it's those little wires too, like the bundle, and it's the one in the middle goes and they break in the half because they move a little bit, or like you say, the contacts go because they're made out of shit tin.
Oh yeah, they had those contact switches for the doors that they thought was a great idea, and they were fucking horrible. So the interior lights would stay on until they automatically timed out. And the only reason they automatically timed out is because Ford made it do it because they knew it was going to kill the battery if they didn't. Oh, it just that's the worst one I owned. I drove for a while. We had a 1990 Dodge 1500 that they put extra leaf springs in, and that was when I was working for Dad, and I drove that back and forth to Worsley. That truck hit and 2 deer and never cost us a penny to fix.
That was not. It was just after just had a different look. They were square, and then they made that round body front.
Yeah,
that everybody emulated.
Square. 94, they switched the body style.
That's right.
But it was during that period of time that everybody had trouble with their primers. Ford had it, Chevy had it, Dodge had it, and the paint would flake real bad. The 1990 was the worst year period for them. 89 was same idea and stuff. Like I remember the ex-father-in-law had an 89 Ford, and it was the same thing. Paint was just flaking and falling right off, and that's the way it was. But I literally smashed a deer, get out, looked at the bumper, and it's all twisted up. I'm on my way back to Fort St. John, where our mechanic's at. I phone him and say, hey, I hit a deer. This bumper's all twisted. What do you want me to do? And he said, well, just run it by the shop and I'll pull the bumper off until we can get something else on it. Well, he gets under there, loosens the bolts, and the damn bumper springs itself back into place. That truck was the toughest truck I ever drove, but it also rode like an absolute lumber wagon. Like it was.
But you had extra springs in it. That's got to be tough.
Oh.
Like they're already jacked. That's like,
those things
like
rode
riding
like
on a
shit
stone.
to start with. Much less after they boosted the springs up. The only time that truck ever rode right, we put an 18-speed out of a Mack in the back, take down for to get rebuilt. It's the only time that thing ever rode nice. And I mean,
if you put so much weight in it.
We were so far overweight. If anybody had ever checked us, it wasn't even funny. Like that's the heaviest transmission that's available anywhere for a truck on the road, or like an on the road truck. And yeah, that it rode good, and the whole thing rode level like it was supposed to. Like it was just ridiculous.
There you go. So yeah, the worst car I ever had. So I didn't have a lot of money growing up, which is not a surprise. And unfortunately, I wasn't very good at hockey, so no one gave me a car. So my first vehicle was a 1963 Mercury Comet that had a Bondo problem. And this is 1986 when I had it, so it was fucking old. It didn't really steer; it just kind of had a notion, like you'd sort of wish it to stay between the lines, and then hope that you didn't have to slam the brakes on, because that wasn't going to work anyway. But yeah, I took it on its inaugural drive, and I think my dad got it for free, so that's why I got to drive it. I don't even know why he insured it, because it had wings. It was like such a piece of garbage. So I drove it from Surrey out to Vancouver. First drive, 16 and a half or whatever. I had my license for maybe like 2 months or something. Got this piece of shit car. First solo drive into town, and I get over the Alex Fraser Bridge. I get over the Annis Island Bridge. I'm going down Marine Drive, and then the bumper falls off. So then I had to pull into this, found a street after I scraped it down the Marine Drive for a while, and then pulled over and went up on a little bit of a curb and used some wire that I got. And I think I had a coat hanger in the car for some reason. Anyway, hung it up and then drove back to my parents' place. That was my big drive with this piece of shit car. Then I got another one after that.
So, as you guys probably know, there's a tradition here at Grad that the Grads buy cheap, shitty cars.
Yes.
Spray paint them, do whatever, make them look ugly and all the rest of it and run around. Well, me and a couple of buddies at Grad had gotten our hands on one of the neighbors give us the car, and it was a 74 Cadillac Eldorado. Oh, we were styling.
Is that 50? How long is that? Is that 20 feet long?
About 700 feet. 2 doors. You could fit 8 people in it. It was ridiculous. Anyway, and I mean, I don't know how much beer you could have put in the trunk, but we could never find enough money to fill it. Well, we've only had this thing on the road about 3 days, and we're doing as most of us are stupid at the time and did, and we're just roasting down the back road. Like, we're doing $120 in miles an hour, not kilometers. And all of a sudden, somebody hadn't latched the hood quite properly. When we
oh my god!
Up, off the fucking hood goes into the field, into the ditch we go, and that's where the car stayed. Because we were just.
I'm glad you.
We pulled the permit out. I mean, one of our buddies went and got it afterwards, but it was.
I'm glad you lived, because that could have been bad.
Oh, like I said, young and dumb, right?
I had a question that went down a car rabbit hole, which was okay. It was good. Summer is coming. Spring is here. Well, at least it's here where I am, but maybe lessy springy where you guys are. What's the plan? What are you doing this summer that's going to make it the most memorable summer ever? Fully, what's going on?
Oh, I'm gonna go find myself a big car and see if I can put people in the trunk.
Just dead bodies. Just dead bodies.
Yeah, no, that's you guys. You guys got me all just pumped over big trucks or cars or whatever they are.
Big.
No, I don't know.
Like
I'm gonna. We don't get to do hockey school anymore. Kids are all done that. So summers, whatever we do, just same old. Go down and see the in-laws in Central Alberta. Hang out, maybe do some golfing. You know, stuff to do every summer. Nothing really that that's crazy. That's for sure.
All right. Oh, what are you doing?
Not sure. I really don't have a lot of plans. Gonna try to get this house fixed up, a couple of things to finish, and then I think I'm gonna get ready to sell it. So
You can sell your house?
yeah,
Why?
because it's
What, you can do
3,000 square
downsize?
feet and
No, I know.
it's me.
Yeah.
Like
Big. Yeah, it's you. Yeah.
I don't want to stay in Dawson forever, so the first step to that is
Yeah.
get rid of the house and then see where we go from there.
I mean, I just sold a house in Dawson.
Yep.
And I don't know. I think you should think about it before you sell it. Just not because I want, hey, you do what you need to do for you. It is a big house, so obviously it's not great for one person. But I would say have a good conversation with people that you trust about what's going on market wise and that kind of thing before you decide to pull the trigger. I mean, obviously, also like, is it a downward trend forever, or is it an upward trend? Like, who knows, right? But I will say that if you move to this crazy island, that I'm from here, so I feel like I'm coming back like an old salmon. But lots of people like to come here, and it's not cheap. Holy cow!
Yeah, no.
It's insane. It's insane, and it wasn't, which is a real downer because we were always coming back here, and it was pretty comparable to what we had going on in Dawson until about 5 years ago. Now it's not anymore. So yeah. So wherever you want to go.
Expensive, so it's just a matter of picking a place and going.
That's right.
I don't think I've got any one place in mind. I've got a couple of ideas. Southern Alberta, maybe somewhere around Calgary.
You could just say screw it and move right to Costa Rica. Never leave.
And around there somewhere. So I don't know.
Kelowna is very costly, but if you're okay with an apartment or a townhouse, like that's probably
I'm totally fine
doable.
with a condo, to be honest with you, because it's just me, and even if it's more than just me, it's only going to be two of us. So what do we really need? I don't need a yard to take care of and all the rest of it. If I've got a place to come home and sleep, that's good for me. If I want to go out and cut grass, I'll go golfing. And at least at least in Kelowna, I can golf half the year.
Yeah. You can come here and golf. I golfed twice in January this year.
Yeah.
What is? You said two of us. Is there a two? I didn't know you had a two.
No. I'm just saying that down the road there's probably going to be a second, but
there is going to be a second. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to stay single forever. I don't think so.
Fair enough.
I certainly don't plan to anyway.
Good. All right, you've heard it here on Barium. Bubba is on the hunt.
That might be pushing it a little, but
all right. I think you need a little bit of love advice from Mr. Eric Fulton.
Oh, I've gotten lots of love advice from Mr. Eric Fulton. I'm not sure any of it was quality advice or not, but we'll see.
You don't want love advice from Eric Fulton? He's quiet. What's going on? Are you out there fully? What happened?
Well, I'm just listening to this enthralling conversation.
Oh,
that's all.
Okay.
I'm good.
This has been Barium Podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music. New episodes are typically available at 3 p.m. on Sunday or Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I hope to hear some feedback from everybody as to what they think about our podcast.